Bam. Now guys, I'm just kicking around here slowly, and let me cut my spot lock on while I'm doing this, and I'm looking for stumps. And the crappie can be hard to see. Now I didn't see this fish. It might be a big sun perch. Yep. Huh? That seemed good. That's a crappie. Big sunfish, red ear and stuff like shell crackers, they'll move in with the crappie in the shallow water when the water warms. Water is 62. It's been cool this week. I'm surprised it's that warm. But yesterday it warmed up and it was super windy. We had winds up to 25 miles an hour. I know guys, it went clean across the United States, didn't it? Arkansas, some of y'all guys got it bad. Sorry to hear that. All right, there you go. That's a nice fish. Bam. Now guys, this is the crap. I'm in shallow water. I'm only in 7.5 foot. And some of y'all that have a live scope know that the shallower water you get in, your target, the looks of your target really changes. And I caught a fish, and believe it or not, I'm just starting, guys. The first fish I caught, my battery died. So I don't know how much of that I got. Okay, this is a rocky color, one of the new colors. Bam. All right, guys, I just got out of here. Actually, this is my first fish. I ain't got my net ready. I pulled into this cove, and what I'm doing, and what this video is going to be about today, is pre-spawn crappie. Now, I have fished 3 days in a row, and I've caught a lot of crappie. I caught like, I don't know, 35, 40 each day. I'm gonna fish in 4 or 5 hours. Got eggs in her. All right, this is blue mist. And it's really not about the color bait. I'm gonna switch colors some, and I'm gonna tell you about what color I'm using, because some of y'all will ask me in the comments, what color was that? That's one of the new colors, blue mist. Works great. Sid texted me last night, and he's going back to Grenada this weekend for 10 days. He said this blue mist color, he said it was one of the best colors. That and the Grenada bug, he said, worked like a charm in Grenada. Now Grenada has a lot of stain to the water, about 10 to 12 inch visibility. Our water right here right now is probably more than 2 foot. All right. Now I pulled into this cove and I made a circle because it's a beaver hut back there. There's some lay down trees here. They wasn't on the beaver hut. They weren't on lay down trees. When I got here closer to the deeper waters, 12 foot here come a school at me. The school crappie was coming at me in open water. It was about 10 or 12 of them. I threw at him, messed one the first time. One hit me the first cast, and I messed him. I threw back and caught one. They were all about it now. They was after it. Let's see if I can find them again. Now the water is 65 degrees right here. Yesterday it was 61. I was here yesterday too. This is where I'm starting this morning. I finished up here yesterday. I'm trying to fish different water today, okay? I'll tell you what, guys, if you keep beating the same crappie, I know where some are. I could go right now to 2 or 3 places I caught them yesterday. I guarantee they're still there. But when I left yesterday, after I caught 3 or 4 out of school, they get hard to catch. I'm looking around. I don't see nothing now, okay? I don't see a thing. All right, y'all can see my live scope's empty. One fish right there at 20 feet. And that could be anything. I'm not going to bother with him. I'm going to go looking, because right now they're still in little groups. Okay, they've grouped back up. They was scattered. They have grouped back up now because it's pre-spawn. A lot of the males have moved shallow. I've caught males off of stumps. All right, and I'm probably going to show you that clip, a couple of those fish at the beginning. I caught them Sunday evening after church. I'm probably going to show you those at the beginning, because I was going to make that video about that Sunday, and I got into doing different things, and I lost a lot of my clips, okay? And you'll hear me say it in other videos. I lost a lot of them. They end up being pictures instead of videos. Yeah, my camera changed on me. So now I'm checking them more often now. But now I'm pulling out here a little further. There's a little brush top right here I know about. All right, right here it comes up. You see it coming up here. All right, let me go ahead and check it, and I'll show it to you. And guys, here comes one off that brush pile I just showed you. It's actually a tree top, I think. I think it's one of these big limbs, or old tree here. It fell in and floated out there, maybe it sank. All right, right there it is. You can see it's just a limb holding it. It goes right there. That's it. Just the top of it. See the fish around it there? Trying to give y'all some shade. All right, so I know they're all small. Now I caught a couple off there yesterday that were good fish. They were 10 inches. I don't think they're there today. Those fish right there probably won't take part in the spawn. Would you think? I don't think a 7 or 8 inch fish would take part in the spawn. All right. Now, so we noticed nothing on the beaver hut. I caught a couple roaming, and that was a nice fish, that just roaming. So they're gone. I haven't seen them since. So that might be the thing I need to do today, is to find some deeper cover. I'm gonna check around some more and look in some of these pockets for females that are not ready to spawn yet, and they're just kicking around. The water temperature is getting pretty close to the right temperature, 64. But it needs to stabilize at 64, doesn't it? Right now, that could just be the surface temperature, because it was, like I said, yesterday it was 61. Guys, I pulled out a little further, and there's another limb here in the water. It's right in the mouth of the cove. It looks like this little treetop. Somebody could have put it there. Both these have been here for a long time. You don't see much brush on this lake, brush piles, because there's houses everywhere, as you can see. And you can't go crawling up on private property and cutting off brush. You have to bring it with you. And that's what I do. I make bamboo poles sometimes to put them out. That's a little nicer fish. Now, I caught both these last two in the same color. That's green shad. That's the green shad grub. It's half green on one side's pearl. It's a real light pearl, just kind of shiny like the tail is, okay? So one side is kind of shiny, one side's green. But that's a nice little fish. Nothing wrong with that one. He's probably, I don't know if he'd make 10 inches. I think he's right there at it. Green shad colors are grub, guys, has been a good one for me. Y'all have tried it. A lot of y'all commenting back you like it. I've used about all the colors now through time and have no trouble with it. Guys, it's supposed to be 74, 75 today. And you know what? Like I had some stuff I had to do this morning. It's 1 o'clock now. I had a job to do, and I had some baits to deliver. So, bam, I had things I had to do. And I was going to work in the shop. I'm going to take my coat off, my shirt off. That's all I had was a long sleeve shirt. And I have to get my sleeves out, I reckon. But I came home and told the wife, I said, I'm not going to work in the shop this evening. She said, what? My wife's retired. She said, what? I said, it's too pretty to work in the shop. And calling for rain, guys, that starting tomorrow evening, Thursday and Friday, into Saturday. And I said, I can work in the shop when it's raining. It's too pretty to work in the shop. So I can make baits next couple days. Let's make some videos. Let's get out there while the sun is shining and it's warm and see if we can catch some fish. First thing y'all gonna say is, Dennis, you're back out in the channel. That's right. I'm in 21 foot of water. And that's the point of this video I'm trying to show you. I thought it would be bigger now. There's two fish by themselves. All my local friends are gone. Oop, bait come out of his mouth. I think I netted him. He was so far away, guys. He was 45, 50 feet from me. Cutie. All my local friends are saying, all the shallow. I went to the bait shop this morning, and two of the guys there are fishermen. Of course, they work there. He's probably about at 10. I don't know if he'd make 10, but he's in that area. And they're like, all the bass and crappie are shallow. I said, yeah, a lot of them are shallow. All the bass are shallow. I'm seeing them. And I've caught a few bass fishing. I said, yeah. I said, but not all the crappie have moved shallow yet. And they kind of looked at me funny, and I'm going like, they all don't move shallow at the same time. Now, I came out of that cove over there. That's where that brush pile was. That's why I caught the one in open water. It was about 10 or 12 together, and they was moving. They come past the boat. I seen them come underneath the boat. They went over here like this. They turned, made a circle, and when they got it in front of me, I threw at them and caught one of them. Now, when they're moving, it's like shooting ducks. You got to throw ahead of them, right? You got to allow for that. That's what's so tough, guys. These two fish here were deep. I seen one on the surface a while ago, like right here. Now that's not a crappie. See how you see its tail moving? There's another fish right there. I don't think those are crappie. I think those are gar. Yeah, we have gar, guys. Because I can see their tail moving. If they're crappie, they're big crappie. Now, hold on, right here. See this fish right here on the bottom? I'm trying to hope y'all can see this from the glare, right here. See, there's two right there on the bottom. That's how the one I just caught was, but he was off the bottom just a little ways. And I threw at him. See, there's two there. All right. So what I'm going to do now, since I caught this in this channel, I'm going to keep down this channel further. There's a cove right here. I want to check the mouth of the cove on both sides because there's stumps on the other side of it, I know. I want to look for any kind of structure, stump or anything that's in 6 to 12 foot of water because there's going to be crappie on it. Right now, this water temperature is 64 here, but some of that's fake, guys. Sun's hitting us on. It was 61 yesterday, so what I'm trying to tell you is when the crappie start moving shallow, when the water gets in the 60s, low 60s, on your lake, you still could be frozen over, but it doesn't matter. When that water gets 60, 62, they're going to start doing the same thing. They're going to start wanting to move shallow. Some of them will go ahead and go shallow and set up. I've caught them in 4 foot of water. That was last Sunday. Today is Tuesday, 4 days ago. I've been, like I said, I have fished 3 days in a row. 3 days ago. What did I say 4 days ago? 3 days ago. And they're going to do exactly the same thing. They're going to start moving shallow. Let's see what different cover we can find them on, okay? That was in open water. I've caught one swimming in open water. I've caught one out in deeper open water, 20 foot. I've caught some off a brush pile that was in what, 12, 14 foot? Let's see what else we can find them on. All right, guys, see these fish right here? They're in 18 foot. I'm sitting in 27. See it's coming uphill right here. There's like a couple on that stump right here too. There's a couple right there. I've been watching them for a couple minutes because some boats came by. Yeah, one of the wake boats come by. They wasn't skiing, but they're just running. Even when they're just running, they stir up a lot of fuss, don't they? I'm going to throw at them, okay? All right, guys, right there's where they were. See the stump? There's not a fish there now. I threw over there, bait got down close to them, started reeling the bait. They all took off, all of them. All right, guys, this fish was in open water. He was in open water. I said this in a video I made yesterday. I've seen more fish in open water the last 2 or 3 trips out than I have all winter. Usually they do that in March and February. That is the cutie color, okay? And that's not a big crappie by far. He's probably 10 and a quarter. All right. Now you can see I'm a long ways from the bank. I'm fighting boat traffic today, guys. It's a pretty day. It's in the 70s. I think I said when I left my house it was 72. So, and that was 12:30, something like that. Now I got my depth finder. I got the bottom way down here. What I done when the fish was up in the top like that, I dropped it because it makes everything bigger, right? I done everything I could to make everything bigger, guys, so I can see my bait. It's very important to see your bait when you're throwing at a fish that's in 8 foot of water over 15 foot. If you get it underneath of him, you're not going to catch him. If your line hits him, they're going to run. You need to keep it about 6 to 10 inches above him. When I got to him, all 3 of them come after it. One stopped, the other one kept going, and yeah, he said, that's mine. He nailed it. They got to have that cutie color. He said, oh, that's cute. Here. See? That fish is in 6 foot. There's another one there. That's how those 3 were together. Now I think those are big fish right there. I might be wrong. They're 65 feet from me though. I think those are probably gar or bass. But so here's a couple fish right off the bottom. See, they're all still, they're getting places where the sun can hit them and they can feel that water. Those are just sitting there holding. They could be crappie. They're 50 feet from me. I will go over there and check them. I will cast over there. When I bring the bait past them, I can tell. Now, I told y'all, I showed y'all ones on the stump up here. Like I said, they ran when the bait got close to them. There was some stumps behind me. The reason I came right here, the reason I came where I'm at, and there's one stump. See, there's a stump, there's a stump, there's a stump. Look here. They wasn't there, holler. That's probably crappie. They're 60 feet out there. All right, right there's a crappie. And look, he's 12 foot deep. They're all not shallow. There are some on laydowns, but they're all not shallow. They're scattered, guys. Will they ever all be shallow? No. I think when some of those finish spawning and done and start moving back to docks, they will move to docks after that. They're not on docks here now. I watched a guy in Tennessee said he's catching them off docks 3 weeks ago. I've been checking docks. Some of my favorite ones. They're not there. They don't move to docks here till after the spawn. Once the spawn's over, they just want to relax and eat. They'll go out and eat at night. Yeah, they'll go out and eat for the evening. And when they go home, they go to a dock and just rest. That's it. They get in the dock, get out of the sun. Well, it's dark. They want to be in there because it's dark then, because the water's warmer, right? And they'll sit there and rest. All right, guys, I'm sitting in the same spot, and a school came by just like I did the very first fish I caught. Here come a school. I'm gonna pick him up. He ain't that big. Here come a school out there about 60 feet. I just kept watching them. They got into about 45 feet, and I threw at him. One of them swiped at me. Didn't get him. This is the gunner color, right? Wild with chartreuse tails, called gunner. I switched to a lighter color, guys, because the sun's gotten up more, and I wanted a lighter color on the shad, and I can throw it a little further. They're right here. They done come in a little ways now. Okay, again, it's where a live scope helps you. You can see that on side scan. If you got a side scan, you can watch the side scan and say, hey, there's some fish out there at 60 feet or whatever. And they're so deep, they're this deep, you know. I can see them moving. I don't see my bait. There's one of them. I seen the fish moving. When I see the fish shuffling places, like, you know, moving up and down, one went up, two went over to the left, I know they see something. When they're moving this along, they just kick along. When you see them switching places, like race cars, like coming around the last turn, you know, and they're everybody's trying to get ahead of everybody else. You know they're trying to jockey the position, who's gonna bite it, who's gonna grab it. And usually, if you ever watch a school of crappie, usually one or two will come after it, three will come after it, that's about it. When you see a bunch come after it, it's usually white perch. All right, but the whole school sometimes will move with the fish. The whole school will move toward it, but you can see them moving around like, I'm gonna get a little higher in this school so I can grab it. That's a nice fish here, guys. He's probably 11 and a half. That's the size you like catching. If I was gonna keep something to eat, there would be. Now, we already got hamburger. I got green beans in the crock pot. I put green beans in the crock before. I do a lot of the cooking, guys. So that's why I tease y'all sometimes, but telling y'all about the little tricks about cooking. I said we have to start a cooking show. But I do a lot of the cooking. I do nothing fancy, just simple stuff. Yesterday, which is really good, put a beef roast in the crock pot. And my wife done this. Put a beef roast in the crock pot. Just put a jus and brown gravy powder mix on it. Sprinkle that all in there. Put you a couple cups of water in there and stir it around. And leave it in that crock pot all day. Wow. You can put mushrooms and onions in it. We've done that. You can add whatever you want to. Mushroom and onions. What would be good at the end would be add some noodles. And we put it over rice. But boy, I tell you, that makes a good meal, and you don't have to watch it. You put it on about 12 o'clock, and about 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the evening, she's ready to eat. Actually, I went in about 4:30 and put it on low. And man, I made supper, ain't hard work. I did have to cook the rice, that was it. You know? Now this school, I'm telling you about them, right there they are. They're 55 feet. See my flicker in there? All right, guys, there's a school I was chasing. Look coming here. Okay, here comes another school in. So there's a lot more fish roaming the open water today than it is sitting up on cover. All right. So there's quite a few ways you could fish today. You could be spider rigging today and do well, fish running open water, right? It's gonna be hit and miss. You could snipe today. You could run around today with this trolling motor and a live scope and look for fish and throw at them. All right. Or you could fish cover. You find some little brush piles, go from one brush pile to the next. If you got a lot of brush piles, you know where little twigs are. And you could go into areas in coves or in back of the creeks where there's a lot of stumps and trash and 4 to 6, 8 foot of water, lay downs. And I think you could catch some fish that way also. So right now you got a mixture of things you can do. Water temperature right now is 63. So there you go. What a choice of things you could do in pre-spawn. All right, guys, I caught one more out of that school. He couldn't resist it. Yeah, they ain't very big. They done moved clean around to the back. They're back now about 20, 25 feet behind the boat. And I threw at them and it'll fall right down through them. And I pulled it back up fast, jerked it real fast. Man, just come up out of school real fast like that. You ever tried that? Just jerked it way up like that and let it fall. Here he come. He come up running. Like, oh no. It's like the minnow tried to run away then fell. Now if you ever watch a wounded minnow in the water that you throw back, even your bot minnows, they'll swim real fast and they stop, right? And they're like they're dying. Then they swim real fast. So that's what that imitates. Just jerk it, move it about a foot, 15 inches pretty fast, and then let it fall again. Then I started moving the second, restarted it, bam. Bam, I didn't hear my camera come on. Alright guys, I'm going to end this video on where to find crappie. Pre-spawn, when the water gets into the low 60s, what do they do? See a tree coming in right here? Okay, it's one right here. And guys, I'm not that far from the bank. It's probably 25 feet to the bank. I'm using the Slayer color. Alright, now I switched that Slayer color because the sun got up high. It's a good natural middle of the day color because it's light. It's not a real dark color, it's a medium color. It draws more strikes. I'll show you. Let me lay my rod down here. So the tree, I'm right up on top of it. You see the tree coming in? These little bright marks are fish. Right there, there's a fish. See him moving around there? There's one. Okay, what you got to watch by lay downs. It's easy to get hung up in them. Alright? But that's what they're doing. This is the bottom right here. That's the tree. So, look guys, when that water at 63, and that water gets in the low 60s, I don't care if you're in where you're at and what lake you're on, the crappie are going to start thinking spawn, okay? And not all of them read the same book. You know? That was why I wanted to make this video, because I've been running into so many people going, crappie are spawning. I don't think an egg's been laid yet. I could be wrong. I think this is pre-spawned. It's late pre-spawned. The spawn's going to happen in the next week or two. Again, it depends on weather. We got a couple cold days coming next week. It's going to be 45 at night. The warm nights help that water hold that, retain that temperature. That's what's going to help. But when your water gets in the 60s, low 60s, and you get some pretty days, there's still crappie deep. I caught some right out there in that channel. I caught some that was on the surface. I caught some in that cove back there that was a little bit of brush. I caught some off the stumps Sunday evening that were in the back of the creek, okay? And they were only in about 6 foot of water. I caught some off stumps, all right? Appreciate y'all guys. Hope it helps you find your crappie. If you got side finder or even down imaging, if you run over them, you can see them. You can run over and see them down on that stump in 15 foot of water and turn around and mark it. And fish it as we used to do in the old days. We marked it. Live scope just makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it? A little faster. You know, we used to mark them. We used to mark them on side imaging. I don't even cut my side imaging on anymore. Somebody asked me the other day what I do, helping with side imaging. I went, ha ha, mine hadn't been on for years. Ever since I had a live scope, here's why I side image now. I run down the lake like that and like this. I run my trolling mode. If I go into an area I like, I just run my trolling mode and look around. I think it's faster, and I think I can pick out the crappie school and stumps and stuff better, okay? So that's what I do now. See, it's like that lay down lane right there. Right there it is. See right here? Let's drop this bottom. You can see the marks of it right here. There's orange marks. It's not much tree there is. It's done rot up through time. It's probably the main base and a few little twigs coming down, and that's it. But the live scope is just faster, guys, for me. All right, guys. See y'all next time. Fish in Lake Country.